Come on. What? AT&T? Alright, fine. Whatever. Fine. Get the
Thank
hell
you
out
to
of my way.
Brilliant for supporting PBS.
Brilliant, damn it!
Black holes are a paradox.
Okay, anyways.
They are paradoxical because they simultaneously must exist, but can't. And so they break physics as we know it.
Yeah, it's a pain
But
in the
many
ass,
physicists will
honestly.
tell you that the best way to fix broken physics
Remember,
is with string.
I'm
String
bunch of-
theory, in fact. And the black holes of string theory, fuzzballs, are perhaps even weirder than the regular type.
Niggas banging around on the stone mill floor. Well,
Einstein's
do I
general
sell
theory
it
of
like a
relativity
scientist,
tells
or
us
do
that
I sell
if
it
the
to the
density of
union
matter
boys?
is sufficiently
Because
ridiculous,
they are different.
ultimate gravitational collapse
They are
is
different in the magnitudes of
matter should
orders of black
contract to a
holes
single
and
point of infinite density,
your
the singularity,
dopey ass
which is
being an
surrounded
electron.
by a
They are the
surface from
same
which
stuff, but they're
even
not.
light can't escape, the event horizon. And we see these black holes, or at least their incontrovertible evidence, in many
That's the first
places out
time.
there in the
Sometimes I
universe.
like space.
But
I like
black holes are
space-time.
also
Space-time is
impossible.
cool. Use it all
At
the
the central
time.
singularity, the
They
known
got the
laws
name.
of physics
You
break
would
down.
expect it to be all
General
lensed out
relativity
math.
comes
And
into irreconcilable conflict with quantum mechanics. There's our first paradox. And at the event horizon, another paradox
well, the fact
arises.
that you think there are two
On the
different
one hand,
things is the
general relativity
paradox.
insists
There's
that no
a
information from
crisis
matter
in
that fell into the
cosmology
black
when you
hole
take
should be
Fermilab and you go,
observable on the
well,
surface.
if
The
particles are
so-called
actually things
no-hair
you can't do
theorem,
collisions
which says
with
that the
because
only
you don't know
properties
their
that we
motion
can
position,
observe
how do you
from
do motion
outside a
position
black
and make
hole
the
are
collisions
its
happen?
mass, electric charge,
Kinda,
and
it would be
angular
a
momentum.
problem in
Not very many
cosmetology
bits of
because back to the
information.
stone
On the
mill,
other hand,
you would still
if
make
we
that same
calculate the
reaction.
amount
You'd
of
sell it. And
information
at the
that
best
goes
case scenario,
into
you
a
would
black hole
say,
to build it up,
well, universe
we get
shooting
a
gallery
prodigiously
here.
large number, 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 77 bits for a black hole the mass of our sun. Black holes should have an enormous number of so-called microstates, hidden configurations, and this translates to an enormous entropy. The formula for black hole entropy was discovered by Jacob Bekenstein, who
It's usually when a
incidentally
computer engineer goes,
also
"Oh, this is my
inspired the colourful
fortitude
phrasing
stuff for
that
my
black
Pokeball
holes
making
have no
energy
hairs
doing."
to describe the absence of observable microstates
This is
in
all
a black
moments.
hole, which on the surface seems to
Jacobs.
contradict
Well,
his black hole
it
entropy
certainly
formula.
plays to my numbers.
Is an analogy.
It's furry.
We can
Black
describe
hole.
the behavior of
Jacobian
the air in
matrix
this
is
room
polarizing
with
wave function
very
on
few
string theory,
numbers.
data
Its bulk motion,
compression,
its pressure, temperature,
pilots
etc.
theory, nuclear
These few
decay.
numbers
This is in
emerge from
Adam's
the
Curie
motion
pocket
of
here,
every
right here.
air
You understand? For
molecule.
some people,
And to describe
it is
that,
more
we need
radioactive
the
than others,
positions
and it is
momenta
because
of
the
10 to the
environment
power
you
of
put yourself in by
27-ish
knowing
particles.
or not knowing
So the air
certain
has a very high
things
entropy
about what
and
it
lots
is
of
that
information
you are
that is hidden
putting in your
under
pocket
very
by saying
few
quantum mechanics
macroscopic properties.
and
But in the
general
case
field
of the air,
theory.
the hidden information still exists and is in principle still immeasurable. Not so in the
Hold on.
black holes of
Hold
general
on.
relativity. The no-hair theorem says that there's
As
no
much as all this,
information
you know,
beyond charge,
Bitcoin.
mass, and
This is
spin that's
Bitcoin.
observable above the event horizon.
Black hole.
The information
What could this be
contributing
worth?
to black
How did
hole
I give you? It's
entropy
like, it's
could be
one
beneath the
Zillow. I
horizon.
gave you this rock
If we
that
had
I
one more
carved.
fact,
It was like,
we'd
it's a
run into
monetary
serious
Bitcoin
trouble.
thing, and
Black
I've just
holes
handed to you. How much is it
evaporate
worth?
by emitting Hawking radiation. We talked
Those
about this
particles,
previously,
they're what?
but the TLDW
Photons?
is that
And
Hawking
hot
radiation
squeaky
should
bits
be
about it?
completely
Sure.
random, and so leaks away the black hole's mass without any of the information
Mother-
that went into building the black hole. When the black hole eventually
Sure
vanishes, so does its enormous information content, and that violates a very deep
But
and
they do
fundamental
different
law,
from each other.
the law
They do
of
it
conservation of quantum information.
This a quarter.
This
I could tell
threat
you, we
of
could
erasure
tell
of
you the
quantum
numbers
information
on
in a
there, and
hairless
that's what's
black
special
hole
about it.
is
Only
the black hole
1980,
information paradox.
86
So,
quarters,
yeah,
and
black holes
that
seem
cuts
to be
down
paradoxes.
a whole bunch
And
of
yet
the number
they definitely
comparatively to a
exist.
stone
But
carved
you know
that I
what
make you
doesn't
pound out as a
exist?
challenge coin.
Actual paradoxes.
Then you get the joke
When we
in
see
the stone
an
mill
apparent paradox in
about
physics,
pounding
it's
that.
really a clue pointing to a gap in our understanding. Solving the paradox can lead us to new knowledge. While we've
Some days
covered
I'm
these
just
black hole
chirping, man,
paradoxes
I'm just
before,
chatting, just
and
bouncing
have
along.
even hinted at possible
Come on,
solutions,
buddy, up over
we've
the
never
hill.
actually
Wandell does
solved
needs
them.
coffee, and
That's what we'll
soldiers
try to
need
do
their
today.
their
Ultimately,
shaving gear.
the black hole
And
paradoxes
shaving gear
stem from the
people need
disagreement
coffee,
between
so
quantum mechanics and
ipso
general relativity.
facto, mecha high, mecha
The
low.
impossibility of the central singularity is the most obvious place where we need a theory of quantum gravity. But this is also the problem at the event horizon.
Imagine
A
me if
theory
I
of
wasn't.
quantum gravity
DL
would have
over
really
DT.
helped Stephen Hawking in deriving his eponymous radiation. But such a
Put
theory
them in the
didn't
box.
exist
That's
back
the
then in the 70s
that
and
was.
still
I mean,
doesn't.
right now, nobody
Instead,
knows.
Hawking
Wave
used a
class, we
hack,
figured it out.
something
That's worth
called
something.
the
You got that many
semi-classical
belts to the end of the
approximation. He
game,
was
that
able to
many hillbilly
describe the
spinners.
black hole
The
using
cause and
pure
radiation
general
background giving me
relativity,
signals all
but then
squishy, five
analyze
back
its
here.
effect
Yes,
on the
bones. Yes,
surrounding
bones.
quantum
I
fields,
understand.
which only worked if the gravity at the horizon was assumed to be relatively weak.
Sure, if you like the
In
sun.
which case,
It's a
quantum
good way to
gravity
do it.
effects shouldn't
Black
play a
holes, on the
part.
other hand, been around for a while.
But that assumption may be wrong. If gravity starts
In the
to
way
get
they're still both
quantum
hydrogen.
even above the event horizon, then it may be possible to actually encode information on that
And
surface
because of those
in a
things,
way that saves that information
they are
from
0, 1
destruction
to each
as
other
the black
because
hole
hydrogen
evaporates.
is black
And
holes
it
in
turns
some
out that
sense
our
of the
most
degree.
advanced theory of quantum gravity can do this
We'll take
quite
you to
neatly.
a straight line of data
Black
compress.
hole
Somebody
paradoxes
string
may
a
be solved by string theory.
fertilizer,
string theory,
compost.
black holes
I mean,
are
because
not
they would
halos
take
at all.
turns
In
like
fact,
that
all
where it
of
would be
those
like, is it a
strings make
0?
them
Is it a 1?
positively
I don't
fuzzy.
know, Bones. I
And
don't
so
know.
we
It's
come to
coming in and
fuzzles.
out. It's fuzzy.
Well, very nearly. First, a spot of string theory. We've covered this horrendously complex topic in detail before.
Well, the Harry
so
Hawking
I'm
black
gonna give
holes
you the
comparatively to
crudest overview.
smooth black
In
holes.
string
What you
theory,
want,
all
brother?
elementary particles are oscillations
Where'd you
in
go right now?
one-dimensional strands that themselves are embedded within complex many-dimensional spaces. String theory immediately solves the problem of the black hole singularity
Yeah, we did.
because instead of collapsing all
Democrats,
of the black hole's
clearly,
mass to a single
I would
point,
be like out
it
of the
gets
answer
distributed
because
around
51
the
of
ring-like
you
structure
or
of these
41 of you
strings,
chose this
lose
and the
that
other were
pesky
all
infinite
Democrats here,
density,
right? And
we
we're on the
start making
51%
sense
of the winning
physics
team.
again.
And
It
therefore,
turns out that string
we're
theory
Biden's
can make
party.
sense of the
Ipso
black hole
facto,
event
Mecca high,
horizon
Mecca
also.
low.
The first step towards this was in 1996 when Andrew Strominger and Kamran Vafa created a black hole
Try how
using
it get in
string
there, fun.
theory.
That's
theory
because
space,
you don't
not
understand enough
actually.
beta U,
Now, I'll
beta
come
V.
back to some of the details later.
If you
For
change
now,
either
just
of
the
those
result.
things, not
These
just one or
guys
the other,
found a way
jump
to
on one of
count
the teams. Like,
microstates
well, I was
on
the
the
bullet.
horizon,
And I was
the
a
number
different
of
bullet.
possible
And I moved different. I
configurations of
packed that
string
load hot
structures,
today, man.
the
I was
one
like
these strings themselves,
Kentucky
and
ballistic
high-dimensional
prepared
structures
in
called
terms of catching that
D-branes.
round coming down.
And
It
the
was
number
good.
they
It was
found
smooth. I
exactly
wish it did
agreed
funnier and all
with
in
the
one shot, but I
Bekenstein
had to do the
formula
breaks.
for black hole entropy.
It was
It was
fuzzy.
hard to believe that this was a mere coincidence. It seemed they'd stumbled on the mechanism by which information could be encoded on the event horizon.
Easily. It's like I
The
said, it's like
infinitesimal strings and brains of string theory.
some of the things
might
I had
be
to do
the
was I had
analog
to
of
take that
molecules
NSA
that store
code
the
out
entropy
there
of
that's
our
out front
room
on
full
a
of air.
really
I should
hard
add
crypto
that Strominger
and
Vafa
redo it.
did this
It's a
for the
Horsham
somewhat
code. It's a
unrealistic case of
gambit
black
laid
hole
out in
horizon
Sun
with
Tzu and
4 spatial
quatrains
dimensions.
for
But it was a
eye on the
decisive
mountain,
step,
know your
and it gave
enemies,
us a compelling
burning
reason
bush
to
and
think that
moving
string
mountain
theory
stuff.
might
Whatever I
explain
wanted to grant
where
it
the
in today.
microstates of black holes live. But in order to solve the information paradox, we still have to get that information out of the black hole as
All
it
of it.
evaporates. The breakthrough came quickly. A year after the
Hey, it's the next one.
Strominger-Vafa result,
Right here.
Samir
This is
Mathur
yours.
at Ohio State
You remember
dug into that model to see if it could
Then you'll
reproduce
figure it out.
properties
I
of the
don't
black
know,
hole
do whatever
beyond the
you do.
entropy.
But basically,
And
it's
it
like,
did, almost too
is it
well.
me? It could be.
For instance, the profile of
maybe.
the radiation
One of 'em.
emitted by the strings precisely matched that of traditional Hawking
So,
radiation. This
so
was
right
another
here.
stunning
What
match
you
to
doing?
theory,
Yeah, it's a
and
millimeter.
also a way
You
for
want
stringy
that?
black
Nuke
holes to
my-
leak out
nuke
their
5 on it.
information. It was looking pretty good, but I realize I haven't really told you what these stringy black holes look like,
Well, who's
or how
5?
they form,
Why is it
or how
fuzzy?
structure can actually be supported on the event horizon. For that, we need to finally get to the idea.
You're gonna put some numbers
of
out
the
there.
fuzzball.
What were you?
First,
what
I
life
think
pi-
what's weird
factor?
about even regular
What
black
were you
holes,
thinking looking out there?
if you were to dial
You're
up the
just in the
strength
boat
of
right
gravity,
now.
black holes would get bigger. That's different to pretty much everything else in the universe, which are crunched
You
down
will
to smaller
eventually go
sizes if you increase the power of
self-sufficient.
gravity.
Yeah, it's like I don't
This property
need
of black
new
holes is actually
math.
quite
I
hard
don't
to
need new
reproduce
chemists.
in theories of
I got the
quantum
ones I got.
gravity.
Hey, you
But
better
while
than
he
that?
was
Great.
exploring stringy black
Okay,
holes,
you want me to
Samir
do this, and
Mathur
it's not
found
the
that
Indiana
strings
Jones
that
big
formed the
boulder
black
cell
hole would
to my
increase
tomb?
in size
Okay.
as the strength
No,
of
no, no,
gravity
I get
increased.
it. It
In
would be
fact,
cheap. It would
if you
sound
have a bunch of
42S.
strings dense
Like
enough
again,
to
I've
form
said
a
I
black
don't need
hole
no
in general
more. I got
relativity,
plenty of
it
what
wouldn't
I
actually
got.
collapse.
And it
Rather,
usually
it would grow
starts
to
in gravity.
produce an
And
agglomerate
again, back
of
to fuzzy.
strings with the
Suns
same
make
radius
gravity.
as a
Planets
classical
make
black
gravity.
hole.
Jupiter makes
If
gravity.
this is right,
Like
then black
you,
holes
you're
don't
gonna
have
start that.
an empty event horizon at all, but
floating
rather
around
a
out
real
there, you're gonna
surface
do the
that
dance.
looks like a tangled nightmare of strings and brains, like the hairball cocked up by some hyperdimensional quantum cat.
Yeah.
A fuzzball. Just as the neutron star's gravitational field is so intense that
Like I
atomic
said,
nuclei
the
are
Schrödinger,
crushed
you
into
are
a
the
soup
cat.
of neutrons,
After, well,
a star collapsing into a fuzzball will see its constituents
kitty cats.
crushed
Squared
into
away.
a soup of elementary
King
strings.
Emperor above.
The most
I have
amazing
to feed the
element
cat.
of
You
the
getting
Fuzzball
fed right
paradigm
now.
is the
Not
discovery
important
that
whether the cat's
quantum
alive or
gravity
dead and
effects
radioactive
might not
isotope
just
thing
be
turning
important
around.
at the center of the black hole, but instead may pile up to the horizon scale. The ability for
Don't worry.
strings to
You
maintain
stay
structure in
here.
this extreme
You let me
gravity
deal with Bernoulli
comes down to an
That
effect
is, those are
specific
my
to
people.
string theory
You
called
work with salty
fractionation.
people.
The tension of a
There's
string
one over
is
L.
inversely proportional to its length.
The one over L.
Tight rubber bands are naturally small because they are difficult
Did
to
you carry
stretch
the one?
and
It's
vice
an important
versa.
question.
But in string
You
theory,
do your whole
when
numbers
you
different.
merge
It's
a
like I'll
large
come
number
up to
of
you, some
strings,
master,
the
some
tension
mechanic
of the
come over to
resulting
you. It's like,
object is
did
effectively
all the math,
smaller
I'm ready to do
than
the
for each
operation
individual
bones we're
string,
ready to do.
proportional to
Right
the number
before
of
you hit the
strings
go
merged.
button on that thing,
That
this
means
whole
by
town floats
crushing an
over to
enormous
you, it's
number
all
of strings
fuzzy and
together,
weird.
the resulting
And he
monstrosity
said, it speaks
can be
to you,
stretched
all of it.
to enormous scales. The normally plank-length strings can therefore pile up into fuzzballs with sizes ranging from kilometers to
Do it
light
again.
years. The resulting fuzzball doesn't have a local event horizon.